Hi guys, and welcome to the Friday Live thing with me, Mark Thompson, and old cheesy smile there, Tim. If you're on the podcast, you've got to imagine Tim with a cheesy smile.
I don't have a cheesy smile. I have a this morning I have a grimace.
A grimace. Tim's spent a lifetime on trains in the last 2 days.
Yeah, I've spent 18 hours, I think it was, or 16 hours I'd spent on trains in the last 2 days. Yeah.
You're a train spotter then, isn't it?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Morning, Kevin. Right. So, Tim, what have you been doing the last 2 days?
I've been in London, which is a long way from Scotland. And it's even longer when they have problems on the East Coast line of, and we get sat on a railway for 2 hours moving nowhere. But I got a lot of work done. No, I was down in London actually for an event for Clavio, or Clavio if you're American. Clavio is my CRM. It's basically the email software that we use pretty much every day of the week in our Lean Greens business, and it's they've never run an event in the UK before. Obviously they concentrate on the US market. They didn't think they had a European market at all, and there were 60 different businesses in the room, which was cool. It was a free event, but it's their way of kind of like introducing. Because I think they're opening up a European office with support and all that kind of stuff, which is a really good news.
Active Campaign have done that recently.
Yeah,
I'm getting support calls from Dublin now.
Yeah, as I say, I think we're going to have account managers and all that kind of stuff, which is actually a really good thing because, and certainly from a support standpoint as well. I've never really had a problem with Clavio support because generally I'm not in a rush. So if I get a question and it takes 4 or 5 hours, it's not really an issue, sort of thing. So, and it never really goes down either. It's never broken. Touch wood, I should say. But it's it's a fantastic piece of software. And if you're in the e-commerce world, I would strongly recommend looking at Clavio. It's not the cheapest. It's not as cheap as running it through, various other Aweber, Active Campaign, Drip, all those kind of things. It's not as cheap as that. But the way that the software has evolved over the last 4 or 5 years of using it has been incredible. And some of the stuff that they were talking about yesterday was there was a data scientist there, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But some of the function that they have and the ability to really get some very good, strong data if you've got enough people coming in. But the main reason for using Clavio is how tightly it integrates with your e-commerce software. So it works tightly with Shopify, really super tight with Shopify, but also BigCommerce and WooCommerce and all these others as well. So there are integrations there. So if you do want to have a look at it, go to fastimplementation.com/Clavio, KLAYIVO.
Great. What a great name.
No, hold on a second.
Shit, what's the link?
KLAVIYO. Wow, my God! It is.
And there's a lesson in branding right there.
I know, but the thing is like if I say Clavio, I can spell it, but if you say Clavio, you start second guessing yourself. But it's Clav KLAVIYO.
So what, they were playing Scrabble, and that was the biggest word they got. Is that how they did it?
Much, yeah. No. But I give them their due. They really have done a great job, and they really do look after their customers, even though it is, say, a little bit more pricey. But it means that I can segment my audience. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is simple, like marketing tips, like that you guys can basically implement straight away, and some stuff that will move you forward. And one of those things for us, and we've talked about it before in podcasts and whatever, is like segmentation of your audience. And there's like, for me, is like tools like Clavio, tools like Clavio make that game much, much easier to play. And the same with Active Campaign. If you're in, if you're doing more stuff like Mark's approach to running a business, Active Campaign works very, very well for that as well. So that's basically what I've been doing. And also trips down to suppliers and things like that. So yeah, fun and games.
Stock, by the way, everyone. So
I've got stock. Yay! Only took 3 weeks from running out to getting new stock in. I actually, here's one of the things when you've got good partners and people that you work with and companies that you work with. So the fulfillment side of what we do, they're part of our contract manufacturer, and give them their due, they chucked people at it. So as soon as stock came in, I think we got out something like 600-700 orders in the space of 2 days.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I know. Because I was thinking it was going to take a week to clear all this, but no, they chucked a bunch of people at it. They cleared the stock, cleared the backlog of orders, and it was superb. I've put my hand together for them because honestly, it was a great job. So, and that's the benefit of working with some really, really good partners who are willing to go that little bit further and understanding when shit does hit fan, that the stuff can be done. So I was super impressed by that.
So actually, tip number one: work with companies with good support.
Yeah, no, absolutely, big time.
Yeah,
I actually put that ahead of functionality, and all of the different companies and apps that we use within my business, and I know Mark does as well. It's like it's all well and good having a great feature set and like it being cheap, or it's the latest WSO offer or whatever, or the latest offer on AppSumo or whatever. But if they don't have the support to back it up and like the continuation of that support, there's no point, because you're bought into a piece of software that is not getting updated and it's not getting supported very well. So like everything that I use is basically because of the support. So we use Zipify Pages and Zipify one-click upsell. We use Recharge for our subscription software. It's more expensive, but their support is impeccable. It never goes down. Again, touch wood. Klaviyo, we use that for a reason, and so on and so forth. It is about that support, because when you've got thousands of pounds going through your store every single day, to have that go down, or a part of that to go down has a significant impact. And it's for all of the feature sets and all that kind of thing, or my whiz bang thing does this whiz bang extra thing. Whoopie do. Just make sure it does the simple things, the core functionality, really, really well, and is supported and is made sure that it's on strong servers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, absolutely.
The one thing I do, and I recommend everyone to do it, apart from when they join one of our programs, is log a support call. Whenever I buy anything, or in a trial period, I'll always log a support call just to see what the responses are. And I did one with Funalytics the other day. 20 minutes later, full in-depth reply. Okay, you've passed that test. Some people, active campaign for a company who's supposed to communicate with customers, their support is crap. I've had a problem I've been trying to chase up the last couple of weeks. I've had the same cookie cutter reply 3 times. In the end, I just had to go straight to the top. Luckily, I've talked to people. I've done Facebook messages and stuff, so I just went straight to them and "You got to sort this out." I said, "We know." So they've just opened. They've got a new office in Australia, a new office in Ireland, and they're still trying to train the people up, because people. I know myself. You look at a support call, and you get half the story. And if you make sure when you log a support call, put all the relevant details. Doesn't matter if it's a 5-page long essay, right? Give as much details as possible, because I had to do a support call the other morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I got in, the support call came in, said, "I'll do it now." Once again, I had to reply, "Can you tell me exactly what you're talking about, please? Describe it. Give me screenshots. Which email address were you using? Yeah. Please give me some clue so I can help you." I can't log in.
And I think that's, if you can show, this is proved with what we do with our Facebook ads as well, and like answering questions on Facebook. And whilst it's a pain in the ass, answering comments and messages coming in and all that kind of stuff, it pays, because if somebody feels like they're actually getting their, you know, their question answered quickly, you know, within reasonable time, then, you know, they'll have much more trust in your business. You know,
I don't care if the answer I get is not the answer I'm looking for. Okay, if it's a bad result for me, sorry, we can't do that.
Yeah,
that's fine, as long as you've communicated with me.
Yeah,
it's when you don't, when people don't communicate with you, or you get cookie cut replies that aren't relevant. That's when, you know, you start to get, hang on a minute here. Should we be moving somewhere else?
You know, I sent a message through to Recharge. Recharge is the business that we use, the app that we use for our subscription software, and they've been superb since we started using them 4 or 5 years ago. There's a new, if you didn't know, in the EU, there's a new payment services directive coming into force in September, and basically it's about creating strong customer authentication. So like, if somebody signs up to something through using their credit card, it will send a SMS message, a push notification, or whatever it might be, to the customer's phone that's on record. It's an added layer of security, and also stop people from getting signed up to subscription services without them knowing, kind of thing. So it gives them detail. It will give the customer details of what they've actually paid for, what that means, and when they're going to get billed next if there's a subscription. So I sent a message through to Recharge yesterday saying, are you guys ready yet for this? Because it needs to be ready by September, kind of thing. And you know, I got a response back within an hour, and you know, to reassure me that they were on top of it. So it's things like that where you go, yeah, okay, that gives me confidence that I know that stuff's happening. So, but it's also a good point for everybody who's making sales in the EU. Make sure that your the apps and the merchants are all geared up to doing this whole payment services directive. So if you don't know about it, just do a search for European Union Payment Services Payment Services Directive, and you'll find out loads of information about it there. Yeah,
14-day full money back guarantee, and then they don't provide it. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I really don't. It's like, if you're going to offer a guarantee,
offer guarantee.
Offer a guarantee, and it's like every time that we, you know, we've offered a 60-day guarantee on our products pretty much since day one, and like we've kind of evolved the wording around that guarantee more and more to basically make it way more transparent, way more inclusive, to the point now where it's like, basically you could go, oh, I don't like the way that the lid is screwed on your tub, and I'll go, yeah, we'll give you a refund. Or I drank all the stuff, I liked it, it was awesome, but I still want a refund. Yeah, fair enough, I'll give you a fucking refund. But
you won't be buying anything else from us.
Well, no, exactly, and that's the point. It's like, so when I was asking Sam earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, so how many refunds have we had this year? Out of the thousands of people have ordered, last 3 weeks, take that out of the equation, because obviously we've had to process a lot of refunds because we haven't been able to deliver. But before 3 weeks ago, we had processed 3 refunds in the whole of the year. And I was just like, that's nuts. Why don't we just make our guarantee even stronger? Make it a 90-day.
Yeah.
You know, it's
lifetime guarantee.
You know, it's a year-long one. I've seen that done in America, and I'm like, are you sure about that? But no, even like, say 90 days, 120 days, what difference does it make? And I say, it's, if anything, it just gives people yet more confidence.
I have had somebody request a refund after 18 months. And they said, look, I mean, I'm short of money. Can you refund this?
That's a bit rude.
I think flabbergasted was the expression I was looking for.
But I think what's more interesting is if you're targeting the right type of person, the right type of customer, then you won't get the you won't get the refund requests. Yeah. If you start attracting a lot of shitty customers, then you are going to get a lot of refund requests.
Yeah. Ian's saying he did the same with ClickFunnels. Even after the support team admitted their sales pages were misleading, they basically wouldn't refund unless forced to do so by law. On the opposite side of that, I purchased. I mean, I hardly ever do refunds, but I purchased a product by Ryan Lee a few months back, and his refund. Look, go through it. If you don't like it, ask a refund. We'll process it. And I thought, yeah, okay. So I went through it, and I was like, this is so out of date, because he has a habit of taking stuff from stuff he did 2 years ago and then selling it. Yeah. And it was basic errors and flaws in it. So I'm sorry, I had a chance to refund. And within an hour, I got my $100 back.
Ryan Lee is a straight up guy. You know, absolutely. I've I've spent a huge amount of money with Ryan over the last 10, 15 years or so. He's a totally stand-up guy, and it has always honored that. He's a very humble guy. So total respect for that. His
$1, not $1 a day, his 1 email a day course was superb. That was just him sat in a coffee shop. It's a coffee shop in Connecticut, isn't it?
Yeah, Connecticut. Yeah.
He hired it for a day, got 10 people in there to do a course, videoed it, and then sold that afterwards.
Brilliant.
So
there's actually quite a lot in that. What we just talked about, and so many different things. Having a strong guarantee but honoring it is a great marketing tip, and it doesn't have to be complicated. These tips. It's not like we're reinventing the wheel, but it's like sometimes you kind of almost forget that. Okay, well, these basics of marketing, these fundamentals are actually so key to actually having the offer, the right offer kind of thing.
So that's our opening tips. Do good support. Only use companies with good support, and if you have a guarantee, honor it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point in quizzing with people. You're only going to lose in the end, because they can always just usually go to their credit card company and get it whipped straight back off you, and you'll get a $25 fee on top of that, or $50 fee depending on who you're with. So, another tip. How about sticking to what you start? So basically, when you start a product, when you sit there and start a project.
Sorry.
What's that? What are you thinking about?
What are you talking about, Mark?
when you get a project, and you get it and you stick to it. I mean, when you start it, just stick to it. It's gonna take 6 months probably for most projects to actually find their feet and become automated and run in the background where you don't have to do anything. The trouble is, if you do 2 months and you've done $1,000 worth of sales, no, I'll try something better because I want to do $2,000 worth of sales. You're way better sticking to the original than jumping to something new. Oh, this isn't working. I'll go and write Kindle books. No, stick to what you're doing. Seriously, stick to what you're doing.
My experience with that is, certainly we had a good head start with what we did with Lean Greens. We got going, we got traction very quickly. But it's like, it's been like that, the grind for 6 years. And now this year it's like kicked off again.
Yeah. You're an overnight success, Tim.
I'm overnight success in 7.5 years. But the reality is, all I've done is I've just stuck at it. I've just been stubborn to the point of frustration for everybody else around me. But being stubborn that I know I've got a great product and I know our customers love it. It's just a case of keep on tapping that thing, keep on prodding it till it actually works. And one of the things that we've done with it is, sometimes when you take a step back from it and you go, I need to simplify this. I've overcomplicated this model. I've overcomplicated the thing. Go back to the basics, like what we talked about last week with simple funnels. It's like, go back to a simple funnel and optimize that to death, rather than trying to add and create more complexity onto your funnels.
I posted some stuff in SMO Pro this week, and it was basically me building out a funnel, but in a different way. So basically, I mapped the funnel, which was a landing page, a checkout page, and a thank you page. That's it. That is the funnel. Okay. And my hope every single day now, I come in, first thing I do is open up that funnel. And the first thing I do is I stick 3 little boxes on it. So one's going to be an email, one's going to be a Facebook ad, and one's going to be something else. Other ways of getting traffic, like a post to Reddit or something like that. And I add nothing more to that funnel. I do nothing more on that until those 3 things are done. And it's just a really, really simple way of ensuring that you do stuff. So I know I've got to write an email. Okay, because I write the email, then I connect that box up to the page. So that's it. So that's going to generate some sales or some traffic. Good. Right. Now I'm going to do a Facebook post or a Facebook ad. Doesn't matter which. Do that. Then connect that Facebook post up. And then maybe do another landing page for a free report somewhere. Do that. Connect it up. Right. That's my 3 things done. Get on with whatever else I have to get on with. And it's such a simple way of doing things. And then over time is, okay, you'll end up with one of those funnel maps I love to show people. That goes, look how confusing this is. You don't need to do that. But the thing is, by doing like just 3 different things a day, or even 1 thing, or even 2 things to your basic 3-page funnel, over 6 months, you're going to have such a system in place that's going to be pouring traffic and money into your pockets, or traffic into your site and money into your pockets, or the other way around, money into your site and traffic into your pockets. Who cares? Yeah. And that's it. I mean, it's just, keep it simple. Start simple, stick to it. Job done.
So the next one I've got written down is a question that I've used probably for the last 15 years since I've been running my business, running my own businesses, as every point of whether it's your website or your customer flow or the customer's experience with you is, if you can answer the one question, what happens next? What's next? And it's like, if you keep on asking that question, then you will maximize the return that you get from each and every customer. So my pursuit of answering that question, what happens next, it has created things like customer reactivation flows. So if a customer hasn't bought from us for a particular length of time, we start sending out emails, and we have basically a trigger for us to send out a piece of mailing, a piece of post to them to send them an offer to try and reactivate them. If somebody's credit card expires, and what happens next? If the credit card expires on their subscription, okay, well, how are we communicating? How are we contacting that end customer to try and get them to update their credit card? Phone call, physical mailing, emails, what's going out, what happens next? And if you keep on asking those questions, then you will have a much stronger business. For us, it's about maximizing average lifetime value of that customer. One of the things that came up yesterday in the event I was at yesterday for Klaviyo was they have a tool within Klaviyo which is called predictive analytics. And what they basically do through some real fancy modeling based upon some ninja paper, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, it's RFM, which is recency, frequency, monetary calculations. They basically can predict what the date of the next order for a customer will be based upon their previous orders, and also other orders, other customers who are similar to them. So it takes an awful lot of data from basically all of the data that you're putting into into Klaviyo, into Shopify, and it will give you a strong indication of when they're expected to order next. It also gives you things like predicts how much their lifetime value is going to be. So how much is that customer going to be worth to you? So it's so when I get data like that, I go, okay, so if I know that their next order is coming up in the next week, can I send out a new email, a specific email to them that goes, you should be getting close to placing your next order, blah, blah, blah. Here's our latest offers kind of thing, giving them a nudge. Or another option is if their predicted next order date was 2 weeks ago and they haven't ordered yet, that's when maybe when you look at, okay, this person's more likely to churn. So can we send them something? Can we start a flow to reactivate that customer? So, you know, it's answering that what happens next all the time just kind of pushes you forward, and using the technology that you've got access to. And I would say with the things with Klaviyo, which are really super powerful, some of those functions, some of those, you know, some of the data that they're actually able to give to you makes the game much easier.
Yeah, because imagine you sat there, you're writing an email sequence, and every time you write an email sequence, you put a link in there so that people can buy the product. You ask yourself, what happens next? Okay, do they buy? Okay, what happens next when they buy? Well, you're going to end that sequence. You're going to put them on in storage for 30 days in cold storage, and then 30 days later, send out another. How's the course going? Any questions? Blah blah blah. By the way, do you know we've got this? And you start a whole new series of emails educating them about other products.
I think the interesting stuff for me is, like, if, you know, say for example, you're sending an email to your prospects, people who haven't bought from you before, and you just go, here's an offer. What happens next? Do they buy? If they buy, great, wonderful. They go onto your new customer flow. What happens if they don't buy? Okay, so retargeting. So what retargeting ads are you putting in place in front of them? Are you able to send them an email because you recognize that they haven't bought because of that particular email and offer? Okay, what can you do to, you know, maybe push them over the edge? What extra thing can you add to the offer? Or, you know, what barrier can you overcome? And how about the people that didn't even click on the email, click the button in the email, people who opened? Okay, what can you do with them? How about the people who didn't open the email in the first place? Do you need to send a different, same email but with a different email subject?
Yeah.
You know, keep asking those questions. And whilst, yes, we try and keep things simple, it's kind of like maximizing as much as possible at each stage the assets that you have available to you, and the ability as marketers to keep on optimizing at each stage. So, like, you know, it's a weekly thing that Sam and I do for Lean Greens. Is like, okay, what segment of our audience have we not served better recently? What, you know, is there a group of people that we could do a postcard mailing to? Is there an email sequence that we can run to people who haven't bought from us in a while? You know, what is it that we can do to, like, you know, serve a particular segment better? And it's about identifying those people and answering that question, what happens next?
No, that's cool, man. I like that. That may well make an appearance in Project 212.
But it's such a simple concept, and it baffles me sometimes, certainly with people who, like, they spec the website, you know, specify a website, say for our good friend Dave Toomey, and like they send him a website specification. It's like, I'm sure Dave will ask the question of them. It's like, well, what happens when they click that button? What happens next? What do you want them to see? Yeah. You know, do you want them to see an opt-in form? What happens next? Do they go into what email list? What email do you send first?
Yeah.
You know, what offer are you making to them? And it's questions like that which will make the whole process of what you do make much more sense to the end consumer, because you've actually thought through the whole customer flow, the whole customer interaction.
Or alternatively, you can just build it out, give it a month, and then just leave it, abandon it.
Yeah. Which is what most people do.
But I mean, just picture in your mind. Oh, see that picture in your mind. You see word pictures, boom, boom. Marketing mode at the moment. No, but just imagine, right? So you've got your simple funnel, and you come in there every day. You're doing, okay, I'm going to write one email, put it up there. I'm going to do one Facebook post or a tweet or something. So you add that on, and you build it up. Okay, what happens next? What happens when the person goes from that Facebook post to the landing page, but doesn't opt in or doesn't sign up? How can we make the most of that one piece of traffic, that one person? Because you're only ever marketing to one person. You're not marketing to groups where you're just one person you're marketing to. Okay, how can we've spent time and effort to get that one person to the site. Now, how can we best use that? What should we do next? And then if you keep on doing that every single day, suddenly you're 6 months down the line, and that one person is 20 or 31 people coming from that source every day, and there's 20, 30 people from this source, and there's your little blog that you were going to give up because your blog had 10 viewers a day, you now got 200 viewers a day.
Yeah.
And you can, okay, so what are we going to do with those 200 people that come to the site? What can we do with them? Okay, well, we can get them all on a list. Wow. So suddenly you build a list. And suddenly a blog you're going to abandon because it wasn't working like you expected it to is a large source of income for you.
I used to describe lean greens as a bucket, but without a bottom. Basically, we chucked a load of traffic into it, and they just basically flooded through and straight out the bottom again. Eventually, I built a bottom to it, which was still full of leaky holes. And all I've done is just kept on plugging little holes, going, okay, well, this group of people or this particular person has come out of the bottom of this, not buying or not opting in for whatever reason. How can we plug that gap? You know, what are we not answering? What question are we not answering? What are we not? How are we not serving that particular person? And I'd say the more that you kind of plug those holes, then say the stronger your business becomes, because you know, if you drive 1,000 people at your website, and you get a 2% return, like a 2% conversion rate of people who actually buy your product, great. But what about the other 98%? It's like, you know, you could just chuck another 1,000 at it and still get that 2% return, but you're doubling your ad costs, you're doubling your traffic costs, you're doubling the cost of you creating content, and the time that you spend doing backlinks and all that kind of stuff. Whereas if you could optimize like the bucket in the first place so that 2% becomes 3%, you've multiplied your business by 50%. You know, you increased your business by 50% because you've just optimized one little bit. So yeah, don't think you've just got to get more traffic. Nobody ever has a traffic problem.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Everybody says, "Oh, I need more traffic." It's like, no, you don't. You just need
to convert more of what you've got.
Fix the thing that you've got right now. Unless you've got no traffic at all, then fair enough. But it's impossible to have a traffic problem, because you can buy traffic today from the traffic store, which is Facebook or Google or whatever platform that you go. That's basically the game that you're playing. It's like, you can get traffic is available. It's everywhere. You can get it. It's just how you convert that person, how you convert them.
It's like no one's email list is too small.
No.
You're just not sending the right emails. So you've got 10 people on your list. Okay, well, you can sell. If you've got the right people on your list, you can sell to 5 of them. Well,
let's say if you have 10 people on your email list, I would be sending a personal email to them at least once a week. Sit and write to 10 people individually. Hey, John, how you doing? Tim here again. Like, blah, blah, blah. We talked about this last week, but, how's business? What's happening? What's new in your world? Strike up the conversation. If I had an email list of 10 people, that's what I would do. You're like, just send a personal email. What else are you going to do with your week?
Yeah, exactly. Let's make it easy. Right. So I actually got a list of about 10 tips.
Go on, then.
Should we do one more each?
Go on, do one more.
Okay. You go first or I go first?
No. I don't think I've got one on my list anymore. I've shot
your complete idea tipped out.
I've shot my load.
Okay, the most important skill that you can learn as a marketer, in my opinion, is to communicate. Just learn how to communicate with people, and all your problems will disappear overnight. That's really it. What more can you say? Learn to communicate, learn to write content, learn to write emails that elicit a response.
Find your communication method that really fits with you. It's like, I don't like doing videos. I actually don't like doing Facebook Lives, but obviously we do one every week. But it's I much prefer to sit and write something.
Yeah.
But
I've discovered the joy of the daily email this week, because I've been doing a daily email every day.
Yeah.
And some people think, oh no, you couldn't do that. I honestly sit down with a blank piece of paper without a clue what I'm going to write. And then I'll think of a subject line or something to write about, just something random that's happened or something I've read or some weird thing that's popped into my head. 10 minutes later, I've got an email. Well, 15 minutes, let's say 15 minutes at the maximum, I've got an email. And yesterday, it was all about Dragnet and Sergeant Joe Friday, just a fax man. Sorry, just a fax man came into my head, right? Yeah. So I checked out. First thing I checked was, did he actually say it? I know he never said he never used that term. And everyone thinks that was his catchphrase. Never said it. But then I was okay. So to stick with the spirit of Joe Friday, what I'm going to do is list all the facts about the 5K method. Fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, done. Oh, hang on, no. See, Ian's got it wrong. He's got the listening bit in there. No, we want people to listen to us, Ian. We don't listen to anyone.
I'm joking. That horrible phrase that keeps on coming up, and I know it's true. It's a very much true thing, but yeah, God gave us a one mouth and two ears, so that's the ratio that we should be. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, obviously, like,
some people got 10 fingers, so they're using to type 10 different messages on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
How glorious their life is. Yeah. I think we call it a day there, shall we? Nice short one.
Yeah. Short, yeah.
Give people the afternoon off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, guys. We've got one question to answer. We got questioning overnight. So, and this question is from Stuart. I'll put it up on the screen and I will talk about it. Hi, Stuart. So when trying to get on an affiliate scheme, is it best to apply as that way we don't waste effort writing if they refuse, but you have nothing to show them, or set up a site and write some content to help first? Apologies, won't be live tomorrow. Right, so there's no right answer to this.
No.
Right, so most of the stuff I promote, they've got affiliate programs and they'll approve you straight away. You just say, I'm going to email to my list, I'm building a blog, whatever, they'll approve you. Okay. Some others, they don't like you to email and they'll want you to do stuff. Some others, and this is the big one, I think, if you go through places like Commission Junction, they automatically reject every affiliate first time they apply. Right? Seriously, there's companies on there, you apply, you get rejected. Okay. Most people walk away. There's ones who are serious about being an affiliate, email back. And those are the ones that get approved. So what I would do is I would approve for it. I would apply for anything you want. If they refuse, email them back and say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just building out a site now. If I've got that, will I be approved? Or are you open to having me as an affiliate before I go spend all this time? If not, I'll go to your biggest rival and send them 100 customers a day.
Yeah. No, it's kind of the same thing, I would say. At least have a plan, figure out exactly, say, I'm building a community of X people who are, in the same market. And obviously, if you are using their tool already, you go, I'm already recommending your product to other people in the community. I'd love to be part of your affiliate program. To make it worthwhile my time to promote.
Yeah, no today doesn't mean no tomorrow. Correct, Kevin?
Absolutely.
Nailed it. That's a brilliant one. And the biggest mistake we can make with communication is thinking it has occurred.
Yes, I know.
Tell me about it. Right, so one final thing from me. The 5K method is coming out of pre-launch on Sunday. And on Monday, I start to do the build. So I'll be building a project from scratch. When that finishes, I'll be doing the thing. I've never been so excited, or for a long time, I haven't been so excited about a project as Project 2. Oh, yeah, it's amazing. It's just, this is what I wish I had 15 years ago when someone said, okay, look, this is how you do it. I've showed you what we're going to be doing. I've showed you how to build it. Now, let's just do that bit by bit. This whole 6 months. Just stick it. Here we go. We're going to fill one hole of the bucket today. Okay. And to get up to $212 a day. That's what it's called, Project 212. It's going to be $212 a day. So
why 212? Sorry, am I missing something?
Yeah, 212. Well, 212 degree Fahrenheit. This is all from Peter. Is the boiling point of water. So changes happen at 212. It also happens to tie in with, there's a load of scientific tests done with millions of people. See, for those of you in SMO, see, Tim never listens or reads my stuff. Loads of stuff done. There were $75,000 is the peak of happiness, right? That's the happiest you can be with your income at $75,000. If you go over that, it makes no difference. Okay, so you have 75 million. You won't be any happier than when you got 75,000. So I just try and make people happy. Happy clappy, feely weely. I think I've had enough.
That's enough for today.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got some. This brand new water bottle came from a Chinese shop. So I have a feeling that it probably hasn't been washed properly, and I've got some bird flu from it or something.
For those of you who don't know, a Chinese shop in Spain and Portugal is very different from a Chinese shop in the UK.
It has got absolutely everything you could ever want, and everything you could not want.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, especially anything they can't sell in China gets put in these shops in Spain, and they're amazing. They're absolutely you can walk into one and get a screwdriver, a flashlight, a kid's toy, an inflatable raft.
Do you know where all this stuff comes from?
China.
Obviously, but it's all of the products that people had ordered from China to sell on Amazon, but they couldn't sell it, so that it's now in Chinese shops because they can buy it at massively reduced wholesale prices. So it's basically every failed Amazon product.
Yes, you get in a little tiny shop, and the amount of stuff they've got in there. I mean, they've got trousers and shirts and shoes, and if you've got 2 left feet, you can go in there and get a pair of two left-footed shoes.
It's got spark plug gaps in there.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you get long weight, blue steam. It's all in there.
Brilliant.
Right, that's it, guys.
That's enough for today.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.